to Monster Jam Live. If you're just now tuning in, we're right here in Nashville, Tennessee at the Nissan Stadium. I'm Taylor Mock, and I'll be accompanied by my co-hosts, both Keith Jones and Scott Jordan. We'll be bringing you all the action set here tonight, and you'll get to hear directly from some of the biggest superstars in all of Monster Jam. And if you have questions for them, all you gotta do is drop your question below in the comments section. You never know, that question just may be answered. Once again, we want to welcome you watching from all around the world. We're live here in Nashville, Tennessee. Welcome from our official Monster Jam Facebook page. Now to kick off the night, it's time to get to know Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, your Monster Jam World Finals 18 racing champion. Hanging out with him, Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. Ryan, you completely dominated the competition right here in Nissan Stadium last year. What are you going to do to come back and get that dominant back again tonight?
I'm just going to go out here and have a good time. I'm not after the win. I'm out here to make every one of these fans know they got their money's worth, because I want them to come out here like the Andersons do. I'm going to drive that thing like an absolute wild man till it won't go anymore. Brand new body. The truck is nicer looking than it has been in a long time. And I'm sorry, John Gordon, my crew chief, it's not going to look that good when I'm done here tonight.
Nashville is such a crucial stop to the Monster Jam World Finals 19. You got to tell these fans why they got to get their tickets right now to Las Vegas.
Las Vegas is unreal. It's the biggest, baddest Monster Jam event ever. If you look at this right here and you think this is amazing, Vegas is twice the size. It's intense. The racing is above all, and in freestyle is just nuts.
You heard him. It's Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. Now we've got my co-host, Scott Jordan, in the back with all the backstage acts. And Scott, what do you got for us?
I am back here in the pits underneath the tunnel of Nissan Stadium with Josh Dyke, crew chief of Max D. Of course, driver Tom Mintz last weekend had a huge event, overall event champion, completed that long road back, that 4-month layoff. Talk a little bit about the emotions you guys were feeling that night.
You know, there's no greater feeling in the world than to come out and double down, win racing and freestyle. But when Tom set out for that long, and then he comes back, and his second show back after a back injury to win those, there is no other feeling in the world. Seeing the excitement in all those fans' faces, make it all worth it, all the work that we do during the week, and then seeing Tom being emotional on the microphone last weekend, set it off. It makes every hour I put into this job worth it.
Let's go back a little bit. During that 4-month layoff, when Tom got hurt, how were you feeling emotionally? You've been with him for a while. Of course, you went with his son, Colton, on another series. Talk a little bit about that, seeing him have to recover and get back into a Monster Jam truck.
You know, whenever you see your idol get hurt, there's no worse feeling in the world, honestly. And you don't know what to expect. You don't know if it was something you did or something on the truck failed or what it was. And then whenever Colton came in, we all were kind of worried, you know, how is Colton going to perform in this truck? Never really drove a front engine truck very many times. And then his first show, he already laid down a win. And that right there was just such an amazing feeling, watching all those fans watch the son and the new future of Monster Jam coming to life.
And last week, you rode the #1 seed, that first round bye, all the way to the racing title. You're coming from the #1 position again, another first round bye. Does that give you any type of advantage going into that 14 truck racing bracket?
I think it actually doesn't give you an advantage, because you don't get to see what the track's like until you're already against the fastest people that already advanced from round 1. Now they already got a layup on you. But you know what? That ain't going to stop us. We're here to win. We're here to give these fans the best show that we can.
All right, Josh Dyke, best of luck to you. Team Max D, Tom Mintz, looking for a back-to-back overall event championship. Right now, let's get back to getting to know more about the drivers of Monster Jam. Let's get going with Wonder Woman driver Lindsay Reed.
My name is Lindsay Reed. I'm from El Paso, Texas, and I'm driving Wonder Woman. I would like to be known just as a really good female role model for everybody. I have 3 daughters of my own, so I want to show them that you can really do anything that you set yourself out to do. I do have some rituals that I have to do just by the way that I set all my safety gear up, from, you know, my head sock to my gloves and everything. Like, I put it all on a certain way when I get in the truck, so that way I know that I didn't forget anything and everything is safe and I'm good to go out there. Success really is what you want to do. So, you know, any dream that you have and you accomplish it, that would be success. That's your own personal success. So, you know, whether you want to come out here and be a driver and win every event, or if you just want to come out here and put on a good run and know that you did really good for yourself and you put on a really good show for the crowd, that's the success right there.
Hanging out with Lindsay Reed herself in Wonder Woman. Now, you are driving such a prestigious named truck. Does that give you extra pressure going into tonight's competition?
You know, it is a little extra pressure, but it's also really exciting. You know, we didn't know how fans were going to react to Wonder Woman, and they have been amazing. So really, they drive me to be better. I was in Scooby-Doo before. That was a wonderful opportunity, but now I get to be Wonder Woman. I get to do my own thing. I have my own truck, so I can make a name for myself, and I'm so excited.
So how has the transition been, or what's the biggest thing you've learned transitioning from arenas to stadium competition? It's a big difference.
It's a huge difference. I mean, arenas are tiny. You're looking at the stacks out here, and that's one stack for an arena. So out here, I really got to put my foot to the floor, and I got to go as fast as I can, you know. That's probably the biggest thing is coming out here. I really just need to go faster and do everything harder. When in doubt, throttle out.
Best of luck to you tonight. Up next, it's time to get to know Steve Sims and Stone Crusher.
Stone Crusher right here at the Monster Jam live stage. It's been a few months, Steve, since we've seen you in competition. How do you get prepared to get back into the truck and compete?
You know, we might not be on the track, but we're home. The crew's got the truck tore apart. We rebuilt that Stone Crusher from front to back. We cut the roll cage apart. New engine, new transmission, transfer case. So when you own a monster truck, there is really never no time off. And if I need to get freshened up a little bit, I'll watch some of the videos. I'll watch it on TV. I'm as much as a competitor as I am a fan.
Speaking of TV, watching Monster Jam on FS1, you competed on 3 of the FS1 Series tours. What was that experience like for you?
You know, it was awesome. Day in and day out, being with the same guys and girls on the road. The first year of competition, I had my son out there with me, and then Brian Wright stepped in there and took the reins over. Me and him done the last 2 years. But, you know, getting to these towns, running these big stadiums, seeing all these great fans week in and weekend out, that's what keeps us rolling.
Fans, let's now get to know more about Great Clips Mohawk Warriors, Bryce Kinney.
Hi, my name is Bryce Kinney. I am 29 years old. I was born in High Point, North Carolina. I am the driver of the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior Monster Jam truck. Let's get ready to My background is in top fuel drag racing, the fastest accelerating machines in the world with 10,000 horsepower to the rear wheels. I'm a competitor at heart. I absolutely love lining up against someone else in the other lane. And as soon as that helmet comes on and that green light drops, it's go time. When the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior Monster Jam truck comes through the tunnel and hits the floor, every single fan is going to hear it. They're going to know that something special is about to happen. I always bring high energy. I always bring a lot of speed because my whole goal is for every single fan in the stands to have a memory that they'll absolutely never forget.
Bryce, we know that driving a Monster Jam truck is very grueling physically, being on the road as well, a little bit of a tough schedule. How do you guys keep in such great shape to be able to get behind the wheel, sweat like you do, and compete like you do week in and week out?
I think, honestly, I think this year it caught me off guard a little bit. I mean, I went into the season fit in January, and as the months went on, I started to feel it a lot more. And to me, it all came down to nutrition. I mean, you got to stay in the gym, you got to exercise. But probably the last 2 months or so, I've probably been working on more of a dad bod than a athlete bod with trying to get my little baby boy born 8 or 9 days ago now. So, but it's a mix. And to me, you know, if you feed the body will feed you.
I believe the dad bod is very popular now. At least that's what my wife tells me. So let's talk about the tricks. We just debuted the 2 Wheel Skills Challenge. What is the toughest trick to master for something like that?
For me, it's been the moonwalk. You know, what these guys, Ryan Anderson, have created, and some of these other drivers, and it's remarkable. And, you know, to get these trucks to move when maybe they were built to move that way, maybe they weren't, but I feel like we're really discovering different things to do with these trucks that, you know, it's not Not that they were really necessarily made to do that. And so, but the moonwalk for me, I want to conquer that. And we almost got a good run at it last weekend. The dirt was a little bit muddy, so the front end just kind of slipped up underneath me before I could throw it in reverse and try to get the back end up underneath it. So, but for me, hey, that's what we're going after. I think the fans love it. And hopefully this Great Clips Mohawk Warrior team can pull it off.
Looking forward to seeing that Mohawk. Up next, let's learn more about Gas Monkey Garage driver BJ Johnson.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
BJ Johnson from Chowchilla, California. I drive the Gas Monkey Garage Monster Jam muscle car. I was kind of lucky. I've been racing since I was like 6 years old, kind of into all kind of motorsports. My family had a motorsports background. I love doing good in all the events. My favorite event is racing. You know, I've been a racer my whole life, and it makes you become a driver. Freestyle is fun because you can do whatever you want. For racing it, you know who can drive a truck, and racing with all the track conditions that are constantly changing. The best part about competition is just beating your best friend. I'm honored when I get to run with Tom Mintz and Dennis Anderson and all the guys that paved the way for all of us over the years, and it's more bragging rights than anything else. You know, if I beat them one weekend, then you know it's going to be war the next weekend with the guys. I always tell everybody, come to a show one time, and I guarantee you're going to come back. And you're going to remember highlights throughout the night, and I always make sure when the fans leave that they're happy. If I can finish my freestyle, finish the racing, and see people cheering and happy and they're smiling, then I know I did my job.
Here he is, BJ Johnson, Gas Monkey Garage. BJ, you had quite the crew waiting in line to meet you. It's got to be amazing to have the support of all those fans for Gas Monkey Garage.
Yeah, you know what? The pit party was great today. We were here last year, so a lot of people came in with shirts that they'd made and signs, and we have our puff trucks and all of our merchandise. It was just overwhelming that the line was so long, and I was trying as fast as I could to get through everybody and spend my time with them. But the fans have been great. They're still trying to get in here and pile in this stadium, and it's going to be a crazy show tonight. They're just trying to get their way in right now, and we're just getting ready to go.
Well, BJ, you've been driving for Monster Jam for quite some time now. You had to have some type of advice when you first started off that kind of stuck with you today.
Yeah, when I started this 17 years ago, I was just kind of just a kid trying to get my foot in the door. The guys always told me, Tom Mintz, Dennis Anderson, and everybody, they said no matter what, if there's 2 people in the grandstands or 20,000 people in the grandstands, you need to go do the best that you can do. And I've always lived up to that. I want to make sure that people get their money's worth and then everyone's happy at the end of the night. It's not always going out here and crashing the truck and tearing the truck up. We want to fill the time. If we fill our time, you guys got your money's worth, and then we're happy about it.
Ready to rock and roll tonight, BJ Johnson, Gas Monkey Garage. Up next, it's time to get to know Hooks, Brian Wright.
Here he is, Brian Wright and Hooked. Brian, what's one of the most common questions you get asked about being a Monster Jam driver?
You have a lot of people ask you about how you actually got in a Monster Jam truck. I crewed for a digger truck. I live about 80 miles from the digger shop. I always had a dream of being in a racing. And from mutual friends, I met Cliff Thomas, you know, and he knew Steve. I finally got the chance to go up there and try out. I had to wait a year. Morgan Kane coming to the scene. It was his first year of driving. I crewed for him. Then I come in and I got a driver's seat, and I've been driving for 7 years.
Driving for 7 years, and I've already heard some fans asking here at the Monster Jam live stage, how did that Monster Jam truck get its name?
Actually, it was when Steven was supposed to be in school. He was instead of doing homework, he was drawing monster trucks. He's always had a love for the beach and offshore fishing. The guys, you know, they stay into that stuff, and that's where they're from, the Virginia Beach, and that was what he came up with this truck.
That's Brian Wright and Hooked. Now, fans, it's time to get up close and personal with our 2-time Monster Jam World Finals champion, Mutant driver Todd LeDuc.
I'm Todd LeDuc. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and I drive the Monster Jam Mutant Super Soda truck. Probably one of my biggest accomplishments were the 2 world titles that I won in racing and in freestyle. Those were magic nights in Las Vegas, and I'll never forget those. I would like to be known for, eventually, is probably the greatest driver in Monster Jam history, but for right now, I just want to be known as the guy who goes nuts and goes big in freestyle. My favorite event in Monster Jam is probably freestyle. It's really grown on me. You know, I grew up racing, but now I'm a freestyle addict.
Is all you need, so cultivate and plant the seed. Hold your breath.
Probably one of my biggest competitions or competitors out there on the track is myself, number one, and then probably number two would be Ryan Anderson. The best way to describe my driving style is no holds bar, wide open, keeps the fans guessing, and hopefully a winner at the end.
With Todd LeDuc. Todd, many people on social media thought that you should have won freestyle last weekend. What are you going to do to make sure that doesn't happen again?
I don't know. The only thing I know how to do is drive 100%. You know, every time I hit the floor, I drive with everything I got, all heart, determination, and I just want to win. So, you know, for the Mutant Super Soda folks that are here and all my fans that transferred over from Metal Militia, I just want to do the best I can and just be a threat at every week. But I do congratulate Tom. He earned that win. He beat me flat out. And this week, hopefully I can do a freestyle that no one can beat.
Do you watch what others do on the track right before you go out for freestyle? Does it affect what you're going to do?
Oh, yeah. Luckily for me, you know, we go near the end, so I get to watch a lot of the other drivers hit the ramps, and then I start to kind of figure out, like, what, you know, 5 big things I want to do, and then from there it's just squeeze them in wherever I can in my freestyle run. But I'm looking at this track. I can feel the goosebumps right now. I'm going to go back and drink a Mutant Super Soda right now and get amped up and go for it.
Hello, fans, and welcome back to the Monster Jam live stage. I'm Keith Jones, now joined by our behind-the-scenes pit reporter, Scott Jordan. This is the part of the Monster Jam live show. We're going to give you our predictions on who we think is going to win racing and freestyle in Nissan Stadium as we're here for the 2nd year in a row. There are tons of storylines. We're going to start off with racing. Now we have with us our defending racing champion, Ryan Anderson, of Son of a Digger. He's just been on a tear lately. Scott Jordan, who are you picking tonight in racing?
As you said, Ryan has been on a tear on Instagram earlier today. He said he didn't care about wins, didn't care about points, just was going to drive like a madman until Son of a Digger couldn't drive anymore. That being said, tonight I think it's Todd LeDuc's night in Mutant. That's who I'm going with in racing.
Todd LeDuc and Mutant. But freestyle, we also have the defending freestyle champion, Scott Buteau, and Team Hot Wheels Firestorm. Who are you going to take tonight in freestyle?
Nissan Stadium's only freestyle champion has been Scott Buteau and Team Hot Wheels Firestorm, and of course Tom Meents last week. However, tonight, the overall event champion, the freestyle champion, I think Todd LeDuc is going to turn Music City, USA into Mutant City, USA. Todd LeDuc and Mutant are going to take the whole thing.
We will see if he can take that down. For my picks for racing, I am going to take Adam Anderson in Gravedigger. I think he's going to take home the America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses Monster Jam Racing Championship. And then the guy who was the first ever to do a backflip here at Nissan Stadium, Scott Buteau and Team Hot Wheels Firestorm. I think he's going to win 2 freestyles in a row here at Nissan Stadium. But it's not just about who we think is going to win. We want to see who you, the fans, think is going to win racing and freestyle. Taylor Mock, we hear you got some fans up there. Who do the fans think is going to win?
That's right, Keith. It is all about the fans right here in Monster Jam, and I want to know your picks. We're going to ask this cutie over here, who do you think's going to win tonight, freestyle?
Gravedigger.
Gravedigger. All right, your pick, sir. Who do you think's going to win freestyle?
Son of a Digger.
Son of a Digger fans out there? All right, you, sir. Who do you think's going to win racing?
Ash Monkey.
Gas Monkey Garage. Last one, ma'am. Who do you think's going to win freestyle tonight?
Gravedigger.
Gravedigger fans in the house. As you can see, it is all over the place. But guess what? Up next, we're going to hear from El Toro Loco's Chuck Warner.
Here he is, Chuck Warner and El Toro Loco. Chuck, can you hear those fans when you're getting ready for freestyle and when you're strapped into your El Toro Loco Monster Jam truck?
Believe it or not, even with our helmet on and our fire sock over our head and earbuds in our ears, we can still hear the fans whenever they get up on their feet and start cheering.
Now, I know some fans have asked you in a pit party or up here at the Monster Jam live stage, what advice would you give to any fan that's looking to become a Monster Jam driver?
My advice to them is follow your dreams. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do anything. stay in school, get a good education, because with a great mind, you can accomplish anything.
It's now not time to learn more about Monster Mutt's Dalmatians, Candace Jolly.
Candace Jolly, driver of Monster Mutt Dalmatian from Naples, Florida. I would have to say some of my accomplishments would have to be some of my wheelies that I walk in some of my competitions. You know, I've had some that I've completely had to fall over backwards almost, put into reverse, back the truck up, set it back down, and take back off. And I would have to say that's one of my accomplishments. I would definitely like to be known for talent enough to control the truck completely, make the truck dance. My favorite Monster Jam competition would have to be freestyle. 2 minutes to give the fans exactly what they're looking for. Big air, slap wheelies, all kinds of excitement. On race day, I always wear crazy colored socks. I've been doing it ever since I was a little kid, 8 years old, and it still holds true today. I would have to say my mother inspires me. She is a strong, independent woman who has been racing her whole life, and she inspires me to do great things. I definitely think that seat time is the most important way to become a Monster Jam driver. I started racing go-karts when I was 8. From there, I moved through the ranks, and I just feel like all the different things that I have raced have helped me to become a Monster Jam driver.
Hanging out, here she is, Candace Jolly, Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Candace, I gotta ask you, who is it that inspires you to perform your very best on that track, that just amps you up for competition with that happy puppy of yours?
It's definitely my Dalmatian Nation. You know, they have been out in Nashville in full force this weekend. We've had so much fun hanging out with them at the pit party, and I'm so excited to be here my very first time.
So who is it that really, truly kind of, I guess, put some oomph in your step, though? Is it your kids at home? Because you got to tell these fans, you got a whole family at home that comes and support you.
I do. My little son Chase is at home, and he's one of my biggest supporters. You know, all these moms sit in the stands that want to be Monster Jam drivers. You guys can be right here in the action having a great time with us.
There she is, Candace Jolly, Monster Mutt Dalmatian. She's got her fans right here hanging out with her. Up next, we're going to get to know Lindsay Wink, Lucas Oil Crusader.
My name's Lindsay Wink, driver out of Corona, California, and I drive the Lucas Oil Crusader. My biggest accomplishment as a driver was capturing the FS1 series in 2017. It was lots of highs, not many lows. It was a blast, and winning the trophies, as many as we did, makes it fun. As a Monster Jam driver, I hope to accomplish the World Finals. Conquering that and coming home with a trophy from Las Vegas is by far and away the highest priority on my list. I would like to be known for being a freestyler. I feel I went out there and proved myself as a racer, and in this sport, it's a two-way street. So going out there and dominating in freestyle is definitely high on my list. My favorite Monster Jam competition, I love racing. That finish line is the ultimate judge. The line doesn't lie, and I can respect that.
Lindsay, we have stressed the importance of a good crew here as far as helping out with Monster Jam and getting you to a competitive level. Talk about the communication and how important that is to have good communication with a crew chief.
It's pivotal. He's your eyes and your ears out there. You can't see everything, and they usually sit at a vantage point where they can see a little bit better. Jason knows my driving style and what I want to know, how the track's reacting, and certain key points out there that are going to either help or inhibit me out there racing. So he's my eyes and ears, and I trust him 100%. He knows what I want to hear, and we go from there. You know, two's always better than one. So if you got a guy in your ear that you trust and knows what he's talking about, it's definitely a benefit.
You've had so many accomplishments here in Monster Jam, including that FS1 E-Series Championship. But what would you say is your biggest accomplishment in Monster Jam?
Oh, that's tough. Just, my biggest accomplishment is just staying sponsored by great organizations. Lucas Oil now, Built Ford Tough before that, Checker Chuck's Craig and Auto Parts before that. So I've always been blessed to run a sponsored machine, and it's a lot of fun going out there and representing these top class operations. And I have it my way. I'll be in another 10 years.
All right, Lindsay Wink. Next up, let's learn more about VP Racing Fuels, the mad scientist driver, Lee O'Donnell.
Lee O'Donnell, Lebanon, New Jersey, VP Racing Fuels, mad scientist. My biggest accomplishment, World Finals, front flip. I want to be known or remembered as a racer. I hate losing. Freestyle is cool, and I have a world championship, which is awesome, but I like lining up against the other guy and beating him, and at the end of the night, there's no denying who the best was that night. That VP Racing Fuels, it says racing right in the company, and they expect racing wins, and so do I. That's what I'm here to do. Or people that can accomplish things that nobody thought they could. Perfect example, World Finals this year. I'm self-proclaimed not the freestyle guy. That's not me. I'm a racer. So for me to come out of World Finals with a championship, it wasn't supposed to be me, but yet I did. And I like when people have hardships, and people say they can't, and they do. That's what inspires me.
Lee O'Donnell, I gotta ask you a serious question here. What's more important in racing? Is it being fast or being smooth?
I guess it depends on who you're going up against. When you're going up against Lindsay Wink, you better be fast because he is going to be, he's always on his game. But fast, you got to be fast and smooth. It goes hand in hand.
Do you have any specific rivals here tonight at the Nissan Stadium? Someone you really want to beat in racing?
It goes back to Wink. Not only him, but Tom is back, and he's so fast. So just going up against him, if you could beat him at any time, you've done something.
Well, good luck to you tonight. A lot on the line here for VP Racing Fuels Mad Scientist. He is your Monster Jam World Finals 18 Freestyle Champion. Congratulations again. Up next, it's time to get to know the multi-time World Finals Champion himself, Adam Anderson and Gravedigger.
Adam Anderson, Poplar Branch, North Carolina, and drive for Team Gravedigger. My background in Monster Jam is Monster Jam my entire life. I'm 31 years old, and my dad created Gravedigger 35 years ago, so this is all I know is Monster Jam and monster trucks, and I'm glad to be a part of it. It was a choice, and there's times when I was younger and I didn't know if I was going to do it, but I'm here. I've been driving for 12 years now, and I don't think I'm going to stop anytime soon. What separates me from the rest of the roster out here is I'd say just the experience. When I say experience, there's some of these guys that may have been driving longer than I have, but I've watched it my entire life. And that's where you learn, is not only to watch others, to learn from them and learn from their mistakes, but you watch yourself, man. And, I just know what these trucks are capable of. I've worked on these trucks. I know what it takes to fix them, and I know what it takes to break them.
Adam, this year marks the 35th anniversary of Team Gravedigger. Talk about what it is and what it means to you to be a part of such a legendary team.
It's a great honor to be a part of it still. My dad created it over 35 years ago now. I've grown up in it. I've seen it from the beginning, and to be here at the one of the biggest events of Monster Jam out here, I'm super excited about it. Glad to be a part of it and carrying on the legacy for 35 years and hopefully many more.
It's your first time competing in Nissan Stadium. What does that do to your confidence, and how do you prepare coming into a stadium and a track you've never run before?
I think it gives me this nervous excitement inside because there's a lot of new people that I have never performed in front of, but there's also a lot of the same followers that follow us from town to town, city to city, country to country, and I'm ready to rock their world out there tonight, man. I want to come out of here with a win. If I don't care. It feels good to go out there and take home a win, But one thing is, if you get on your feet out there tonight and you remember me and that truck right there, tearing some stuff up, that's all that matters to me.
Now it's time to learn a little bit more about Team Hot Wheels Firestorm driver Scott Buteau.
I'm Scott Buteau, and I drive Team Hot Wheels Firestorm. I would say that my biggest accomplishment driving for Monster Jam has been 2016, the back-to-back victories that we had in freestyle. The one thing that I'm striving for, what I think everybody is eventually having a freestyle championship. I would like to be known for being the best Hot Wheels driver there ever has been, and one day to be considered the champ. And people ask me all the time, what's my favorite thing with Monster Jam? And it's got to be the freestyle. It's just not doing what you do for 2 minutes. It's the excitement and the roar of the crowd. The louder they are, the higher we go. And obviously the backflip is something that we pride ourselves on with Team Hot Wheels. So it gets excited every time.
Here he is, Team Hot Wheels Firestorm driver Scott Buteau at the Monster Jam Live stage. Scott Buteau, you are the only freestyle champion that these Nissan Stadium Nashville fans have ever seen, and the first to do a backflip. Do you feel the competition gunning for you tonight?
No, I don't feel about the competition, but you know, it's all about the fans first, and that's what we strive ourselves with, Hot Wheels.
Now the fans, you seem to do your best when they are super loud. How do you plan on getting them pumped up for tonight's show?
You know, I do nothing to help the fans. The fans do everything to help me. I am fans first. We thank you. Because of you guys, we get to do what we do. It's all about you, the fans. We love you. We're going to rock this house tonight. Are you ready to go?
Fans, it is my pleasure to introduce to you the winner who doubled down last week at MetLife. That is winning racing and freestyle 11-time World Finals champion Max D and Tom Mintz.
Tom Mintz from Paxton, Illinois. I drive for Team Max D, a Monster Jam's only World Finals 11-time champion. I'd love to be known for chaotic driving, crazy over-the-top stunts. Anything that's possible, I want to be the guy that does it. 100% my favorite Monster Jam competition ever is freestyle. I love to get out there, drive with my heart, not with my brain. 100% my driving style. There's no plan, no looking back. Nothing's out of the way that I will not attempt to do. I'm going to give it my all, make sure that everybody loves it. Never give up. Doesn't matter where you come from, where you want to go. It doesn't matter what you want to do in life, but always look forward, stay motivated, and never let anybody tell you can't do something.
Tom Mintz, you had an absolutely incredible weekend last weekend in New Jersey, double downing, winning both the racing and the freestyle competition. How special was that to you?
Hey, after being off for 4 months, it couldn't have been any better, you know. I didn't think it was possible. Drove extremely hard, been working hard everywhere, overcame a lot, was able to take the double down last weekend. But you know, I know that every driver out there, all 13 of the rest of them, don't want to ever see me win again. So tonight, we're going to go for it. We're going to give it our all. We're going to do everything we can to possibly put another win on the board.
What is it that motivates you out on that track and all the competitions for tonight?
Oh, I know. It's so special, man. Freestyle is super cool. Racing's going to be tough as ever. The new two-wheel competition, I'm really excited about that. It's going to be epic. You know, a lot of people have been working very hard to make a sensational show tonight. Monster Jam University works super hard there. They work hard every day. And man, tonight is going to be really cool for the fans. The weather is perfect. The stadium is perfect. The track is perfect. And so far, every fan in here has been super appreciative, and every one of the drivers is going to give back for them to have an awesome show tonight.
Hey, maybe we can get that double down back-to-back weekend. Give it up for Tom Mintz and Max D.
That completes this edition of Monster Jam Live as we are gearing up for all the action coming these fans' way, home of the Nashville. Here we go as we are getting ready, Monster Jam fans. Thank you so much for watching on the Monster Jam Facebook page, and keep checking our social media pages for when our next Monster Jam Live show is going to be happening and coming near you. Monster Jam fans, thank you so much for watching us on the Monster Jam Facebook page for Monster Jam Live.